I can't do my dissertation on this. Someone else has already done it. Every student's worst nightmare, right? But before you throw your topic in the bin and start over, please watch this video in which I'm going to tell you how you can keep your topic, and you'll see how this problem is actually a blessing in disguise for your dissertation. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Yardley, and I have spent 20 years working in UK universities as a lecturer and a professor on social science degree courses, and I have supported many students with their dissertations. If I had £1 or $1 for every time a student said to me, someone else has already done this topic, I would be able to buy something moderately expensive, like a new vacuum cleaner. Side note, I am a bit of a cleaning nut and I like to spend all my money on stuff like that. That and wax melts. Anyway, moving on, you have this nightmare situation on your hands. You have started your dissertation and you've been trawling through the literature, and oh my God, you found that someone else appears to have done the exact same study you're planning on doing. What do you do about that? Firstly, get clear on your people, issue or interest, and context. Secondly, if you have any of those three missing, add them in, because that will help distinguish your study from that one you just found. Thirdly, in the highly unlikely event that their people, their issue or interest, and their context are exactly the same as yours, you need to get even more specific. So let's take a look at each of those in more detail now. Firstly, get clear on your people, your issue or interest, and your context. Every social sciences dissertation title needs to have those three things in it: people, issue or interest, context. In terms of people, you need a group of people who have at least one thing in common. That might be their age, their gender, their profession, their race or ethnicity, their social class, etc. In terms of an issue or interest, you need to identify an issue that these people are experiencing or an interest that they have. For example, issues might be inequality, discrimination, problems, challenges, barriers to doing something. Interest might be the things they want to do, the things they are doing, their hobbies, causes that they're passionate about. The context relates to the place or space, virtual or real, in which all of this is playing out. That might be a business, an organisation, a town or a city, an online forum, a social institution like education, politics, or criminal justice. It might be a particular period of time or a phase of someone's life. Here are a couple of examples of dissertation titles that contain all three. How do female lawyers successfully change careers after having children? People, female lawyers. Issue or interest, changing career. Context, after having children. Another example, experiences of institutional racism among medical doctors born outside of the UK working in neurology. People, medical doctors born outside of the UK. Issue or interest, institutional racism. Context, the neurology field of medicine. Now what you need to do is take your dissertation topic and identify your people, issue or interest, and context. Write it down and underline those elements: people, issue or interest, context, and make sure that they are all there. Quick side note, if you are finding this video helpful so far, hit that like button, because it really does make a huge difference in ensuring that other people can find it too. Now, moving on to my second point, if any of your elements are missing, people, issue or interest, context, add them in, because you will find that once you do this, you'll be able to make your dissertation topic unique, and it will look different from the piece of literature that you've just come across. By ensuring that you have people, an issue or interest, and a context in your topic, this enables you to distinguish it from other pieces of literature that are already out there. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. Women's experiences of domestic abuse. If you started out with this as a dissertation topic, you are definitely going to find that somebody else has already done it, because this is a super broad topic. There is a lot of literature looking at women and domestic abuse. It is a really well-researched area of the literature. However, that doesn't mean that your dissertation can't add to that literature. You just need to get specific. So this topic already has people, women. It already has an issue, domestic abuse. But what's missing? A context. It doesn't have a context. So you need to identify a place or a space, virtual or real, to locate this within. You might choose a particular time period, for example, during the pandemic. You might choose a physical location like a town or a city. So you might end up with a title like Women's Experiences of Domestic Abuse During the COVID-19 Pandemic. Another example, The Effectiveness of Education in Prison. Again, another area of the literature where quite a lot of research has already been done. This one has an issue, education, it has a context, prison, but it has no people. So who could your people be? Young or juvenile offenders, female offenders, male offenders, offenders who are convicted of violent crimes. Identify one. You might end up with a title like this: The Effectiveness of Education Programs in Prison Among Female Prisoners Convicted of Property Offences. Can you see they are so much more specific? So by ensuring your topic is comprehensive and includes people, an issue or interest and a context, you will make sure that it's different from what's already out there. If the tips I've shared so far are going to help you make progress and push the needle forward and generally feel more peaceful and accomplished, take a moment to hit the subscribe button because I have a lot more videos just like this one on the way. Now, lastly, what if you have got all three? You've got people, you've got an issue or an interest, and you've got context, and that still doesn't solve the problem. What if there is already a piece of literature or multiple pieces of literature out there about that exact same topic? This is going to be less likely now that you've got all three elements, but it's still a possibility. So what can you do? You can get even more specific. It is really annoying when you have the exact same topic as someone else. Your people, issue or interest and context are mirror images of another study. But it's not the end of the world. You can still make this topic your own, and you can do that by getting even more specific with your people, issue or interest and context. You might want to home in on 1, 2 or 3 elements. It depends on how busy the literature is in the specific area you want to look at. So let's stay with that example from the last section of the video, women's experiences of domestic abuse during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, as a criminologist who specialises in gender-based violence, I know this literature pretty well, and I can tell you that there are a lot of studies about women's experiences of domestic abuse during the pandemic, and even more are being added every single day. So in this case, we have an area of the literature that's growing, that's becoming quite busy, and we need to carve out our own specific niche. We do that by taking each element of the title, people, issue or interest and context, and drilling down even further. So let's take those elements one at a time. So let's start with our people, women. Okay, how can we get more specific here? We could look at women within a certain age category. We could look at women from a particular ethnic group. We could look at women with a specific disability. We could look at women who live in a particular place. For example, young women aged 18 to 25, Black Caribbean women, women with learning difficulties, women living in rural areas, women who work in particular professions, women who belong to a particular social class group. Now let's look at our issue, domestic abuse. How could we get more specific here? We could look at a particular element of domestic abuse. We could look at physical violence. We could look at economic or financial abuse. We could look at tactics that perpetrators use, like isolation, deprivation, monitoring and surveillance. Now, what about our context? During the COVID-19 pandemic, could we get more specific here? Well, yes, we could. The pandemic went on for a long time, so could we look at a particular part of it? The first lockdown, the first 3 months, the transitional period when things were kind of open like they were before, but not really open like they were before, that kind of liminal in-between period. When we've really drilled down into each of our elements and thought about how we can make them more unique, we can start identifying really niche topics that likely haven't been covered by other people. And examples of what we might put together here are middle-class women's experiences of economic abuse during the pandemic, Black Caribbean women's experiences of domestic abuse during the first lockdown of the pandemic, experiences of isolation among domestic abuse victims living in rural areas during the pandemic. So can you see how you can keep your dissertation topic? Even if you think it's been done before, you can take that topic and you can make it your own. You can make it a unique, distinct piece of research, and you can do that in 2 ways. Firstly, ensuring that you have people, an issue or interest, and a context. And if you're missing one of those, add it in. Secondly, getting more specific on one or more of those elements if you do find yourself in a busy area of the literature. Now, if you want more tips like this and this and this and the other topics annoyingly popping up on your screen right now, become a Degree Doctor Insider by subscribing to my weekly emails. Details of how you can sign up are in the description, as are a few other links to stuff that you will find helpful. So go and check those out now. I will be back soon with more dissertation tips.